Today on Rock the Park,
Ooh. Wow, is this amazing.
We're on a journey of Alaskan proportions.
We're going to the big leagues, boys.
Oh!
In a place so remote,
Goodbye, civilization.
You don't know what's gonna happen out here. All we have is each other.
There we go. Go right a little bit. Uh-oh. Whoa.
Come on, we can wiggle out of this.
Yep.
And lots of bears.
There's tracks everywhere. I think one thing's for certain, we're not alone out here.
I'm Jack Stewart.
and I'm Colton Smith. We've been buddies for years, and we love exploring the national parks.
It's all about packing up a car and just doing it. Just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
there's no telling what will happen next.
Get set to rock the park.
We're in Aniakchak National Monument and Preserve, going on one of the most remote and hardcore adventures we've ever been on.
We're starting out by rafting out of a volcano, and then through the most intense rapids that we've ever taken on.
We're talking 15 miles of Class 3 and 4 rapids straight down a mountain and another 12 miles to make it to the Gulf of Alaska.
And the intense whitewater isn't our only obstacle. We're surrounded by bears. In fact, Aniakchak is home to the highest density of brown bears in Alaska. Aniakchak National Monument and Preserve sits at the base of the Alaska Peninsula, about 450 miles south of Anchorage in the Aleutian Mountains. The only way to get there is by boat or seaplane.
Aniakchak is so remote, fewer than 150 people make it out here each year. Our adventure starts on Surprise Lake in the heart of the 6-mile-wide, 2,000-foot-deep caldera of the Aniakchak volcano.
We made it.
This is a potentially dangerous trip. So Nick and Brooke from Alaska Alpine Adventures will be our guides. We're hauling everything we need for 4 days, including extra supplies in case bad weather rolls in and we get stuck out here.
This is the most intense thing we've ever attempted in our lives.
Yeah.
So,
Alaska keeps you really, really humble, and it will deliver to us whatever it's going to deliver to us.
we've done a little bit of whitewater kayaking, and by a little, I mean we've done it twice.
We're kind of work through what you know and how it applies to Alaskan rivers, especially the Aniakchak River, which is going to be a step up and surprises around every bend, and that may even include critters.
Bears?
Bears.
Oh.
Around 32,000 bears live here on the Alaska Peninsula. By comparison, there are roughly 1,800 brown bears living in the lower 48 total. Alaskan bears are also some of the largest in the world, weighing between 800 and 1,200 pounds. That's because most of them live near the coast and have a steady diet of fish.
All right, so we figure we're gonna be spending a lot of time on the water, so we're gonna go for a little hike, get the lay of the land, and hopefully see a little bit of wildlife.
So we might as well use our legs while we can.
Wow, is this amazing.
When Aniakchak erupted 3,500 years ago, the peak of this stratovolcano collapsed, leaving behind 2,500-foot high walls and eventually the 600-foot deep lake.
This eruption had the same force as 10,000 nuclear bombs. This is a giant caldera. A caldera so big that you could fit Manhattan inside of this thing.
1,500 years later, another eruption or an earthquake ruptured one of the crater walls, and the water poured out of the lake, creating the Aniakchak River.
Hey, bear!
Hey, bear!
There's tracks everywhere. Like, look at this. Oh, man. Ooh.
You got hooves right there.
Those are some big tracks. It's not a bear, but it's a big animal.
Probably a moose. Like the bears, the moose here on the Alaska Peninsula are huge, with the male bull moose reaching a massive 1,600 pounds and 7 feet tall at the shoulder.
Well, one thing's for certain, we're not alone out here.
Oh, wow. Okay. You know what I think that is? I think that's a peregrine falcon.
Seriously?
Yeah. You see the white patch that he has across his chest?
Yeah.
Peregrine falcons are the fastest creature on the earth.
They can dive down from great heights at up to 240 miles per hour to strike their prey right out of the sky.
Peregrine falcon.
Got it.
Scratch that off the list.
We still have to paddle about an hour across the lake to set up camp. We're about halfway across when Colton spots something moving on shore.
It's really hard to tell what they are from here, but their backsides are really white, which to me says that they might be caribou.
I've never seen a caribou in my life.
No.
This would be pretty awesome.
Caribou, sometimes called reindeer, are the only type of deer in which both males and females grow antlers. Caribou migrate almost constantly to find food. They have one of the longest migration patterns of any mammal, some traveling upwards of 3,000 miles per year.
Tonight, we're camping at the mouth of the Aniakchak River.
Right now, we're gonna get our tent set up and then go check out the gates and what we have in store first thing in the morning.
As the Aniakchak River is funneled out of the caldera, it drops more than 1,000 feet, sometimes over Class 3 and Class 4 rapids. This passage is called the Gates. Only a few parties tackle this river each year, and most choose to portage around it.
Oh man, this is gnarly. Right now I'm seeing big drops, huge waves that follow them.
It's really gonna be a test of our strength, our skill, and our teamwork. Because if one person loses it on this river, it's gonna be incredibly hard for the other person to right the ship. Hey, we wanted adventure.
Yeah.
We got it, man.
But is it more than we can handle? One spill out of the gates could spell disaster for the entire trip.
And that's before what could be waiting for us around the next bend.
To the right.
We're in Alaska. We have 3 days to navigate 27 miles of the wild Aniakchak River down to the coast, along with Class 3 and Class 4 rapids.
It's our first day tackling the river, and I'm extremely nervous. This is like 2 steps above anything we've ever done before.
At the end of the day, we're up for an adventure, but we also need to be smart.
Our rafting guides, Nick and Brooke, are scouting the gates, the first set of rapids where the river breaks through the steep walls of the crater to figure out the best path for us to take.
There's no playbook for a river and a place like Aniakchak. You just have to go with what the river gives you.
And it looks like today, the gates may be giving us more than we can handle. There's a high volume of water and car-sized boulders that require precise maneuvering.
It looks like there's a chance we could do it, but it just seems really gnarly to go straight into this with the experience we have in whitewater.
That's exactly what we're thinking. Like the boats we have, the experience you have, the consequences if something does go wrong. If we rip your boat on this first day of an expedition, that's a big deal. If we lose even one bag of gear that's essential, that's a big deal.
Most people opt to bypass the gates, and today, it's the right choice for us as well. But that means we have to portage everything.
Portaging is when you can't pass a body of water and you have to throw your boat on top of your head and walk around it.
Now, going around the gates might seem like it's the easy option. It's far from it. These things are made to take some serious punishment on the river. And because of that, they are thick and they're not light. Oh.
And we have to make this trip several times to get the rest of our gear.
Oh.
Okay. Woo! Nice. All right, it's time to hit the river. This is gonna be our first day in whitewater and the first chance Colton and I get to see how well we work as a team.
Okay. All right, go. In. Oh.
In.
Okay, go to the left. Good, there we go.
All right, we're moving.
Okay, we'll stay, we're right in the middle. We're good right here.
Big splash here.
Big splash. Oh yeah!
We have 2 miles of whitewater ahead of us before we'll get a break. All rapids are rated on a scale of Class 1 to Class 6, with Class 1 being gently flowing water with no obstructions and Class 6 being extreme waterfalls unsuitable for rafting.
The rapids in this section are Class 3, which means there are big drops, irregular waves, and narrow passageways that require precise steering.
Hold on, get ready.
Go to the right.
Nick and Brooke taught us how to lean into obstacles to get around them, and how to spot big rocks hidden right under the surface called sleepers.
Okay, right down the middle.
We got a sleeper, right here.
Yep,
Sleeper.
good eyes. Another sleeper
You gotta
right
watch
here.
those.
Yep, sleeper
Turn
right
it.
here.
Lean into it.
Lean in. Oh, stay with it. Woo!
I'm trying to steer this thing from the back, and Colton's trying to paddle through these rapids. We're bumping into rocks. We're getting spun out by waves.
Hang with it, hang with it. We're straightening back out. There we go.
Hang on, we're gonna beach. We're gonna beach. We gotta spin around.
Yep.
And the next thing we know, we are going backwards, completely backwards. And we're both gazing over our shoulders to see what's coming up. And we've got big rocks.
Okay, which way are we going here?
I don't know. We're going backwards. Oh, we got sleepers.
Go. Hold on. And we're back straight. Oh, man.
I thought we were
Okay,
going
stay
in
to the
for
left.
sure.
Our communication has been really good, but getting the hang of these turns and these rapids is a different animal.
We've got the rhythm of how to turn this thing. Colton's steering us left, I'm steering us right, and we're moving down the river.
Yeah! Yeah!
So just as we're getting the hang of this, we get a signal from Nick that we've got to pull over.
2 miles have passed by in a flash, and we've reached a good spot to camp and prep for another 12 miles of rapids tomorrow.
All right.
Coming up on Rock the Park, the Aniakchak River isn't finished with us yet.
We're going to the big leagues, boys.
Oh, shoot.
Lean in.
And don't forget, we're still in bear country, so there could be a big furry rock somewhere around that corner.
We're in Aniakchak National Monument, 3 miles into a 27-mile journey down the wild Aniakchak River. We've got 2 more days to make it to the coast and our ride home.
How far do we have to go today?
Today we're looking probably about 12 miles to get down through the rapid section with a bunch of challenges along the way that will really keep us on our A game.
We're going to the big leagues, boys.
All right.
These hurdles are all Class 4 rapids and will really test our technical skills.
If you end up in the water though, what you want to do is keep your feet facing downstream, keep them up off the bottom so your foot doesn't get pinned in a rock, and use your arms and paddling to shore in a safe eddy as quick as possible.
Just remember our river communication. This is both a question and answer. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay.
The way the rivers shift and move, there's new channels being cut constantly, so there may be surprises around every bend. And again, don't forget, we're still in bear country, so there could be a big furry rock somewhere around that corner.
I think we're ready.
Yeah.
All right,
good?
let's do this.
Ready
We're
as we're
on.
gonna be. Here we go. We're back on.
The first couple of miles are strewn with uprooted trees and other debris.
We've got a lot of river ahead of us and 2 more big rapids. First one up, the waterfall.
This rapid is so intense that we need to check it out before we attempt to run it.
Hey, Bear.
It looks pretty gnarly. I'm seeing a lot of white water, very small passageways.
If we hit this thing straight, we'll have no problem. But if we come into this sideways,
Yeah, we're in trouble.
we might be swimming.
Yeah.
This rapid is pretty lengthy. What our plan is just stay left.
Okay, this is where it gets fun, man. Stay
Here we
to this
go.
corner. Uh-oh.
Spin around.
All right, spin around. Okay, stay
Go
left.
all forward, all forward. We're going off in the wrong direction, and we gotta whip this thing over so we don't go over the other side of the waterfall.
Here we go,
Okay,
baby.
here
This
comes
is
the
it.
top.
This is it. There we go.
All right,
Here it comes. Oh! Whoa! Woo! All right, one more. Oh! Yeah! Woo! All right, man.
Beautiful.
We're definitely getting into a great rhythm.
So after a few more miles of whitewater, we're bearing down on our last major rapid, the rock maze. Exactly how it sounds. It's a big maze of rocks.
This is it.
I see the big rock.
Yep. Okay, here we go.
Hang left, hang left, hang left, hang left.
We got it.
Oh, shoot. As soon as we enter the maze, our boat just spins out of control and we're going perpendicular right at this huge rock. We hit this thing and we're leaning and the water is starting to push our boat and it just wants to tip us over.
Lean in. Lean in.
If you lean into the obstacle, there's a good chance your boat will just slide right off it and you'll continue down the river. Come on, we can wiggle out of this.
Yep, we can wiggle out. We're gonna go backwards, okay?
All right, you backpedal.
Yep.
You backpedal.
Back pedal. We got a rock here. Come on.
All right,
Got a tree,
up
look
forward,
out.
up forward.
Straighten out. There we go. Nice. Woo! Go right a little bit and forward. Not too far. Woo!
All right.
All right.
We've made it down 12 miles of rapids, but we still have another 12 more to paddle tomorrow before we reach the coast. So we've got to set up camp and get some rest.
You see this?
So we've just gotten to our camp, and there are bear tracks everywhere.
We also have very large bear tracks, and we also have very tiny bear tracks, which to me says a mother and her cubs. The bears out here in Aniakchak, they're not gonna look at us as food. They got plenty of food right back here in the river. But a mother is protective, and you do not want to come face to face with a protective mother.
I think tonight, if we go anywhere, we gotta be making tons of noise, always have our bear spray, and just be aware of the fact that at any point, there could be bears down here.
This is a nice, fresh reminder that our adventure is far from over.
We're spending our last night in the remote Alaskan wilderness of Aniakchak, and we're not alone out here.
We've got our camp in the middle of brown bear country, and tonight I think this is gonna be one of those nights where you just kind of sleep with one eye open.
It's been a long night, but we've made it through incident-free. We're scheduled to meet our seaplane in about 24 hours, so it's time to head out for our final 12 miles.
We're done with the rapids, but our minds are on other things, like bears. And going around these corners, we're expecting to see one at every turn.
We pull off on the side of the river to take a break, and first thing we spot are big brown bear tracks.
He had his two back legs right here, and his two front legs are all the way up here. That is one big bear.
As we're walking down the beach, we spot something moving way off in the distance. It's a bear.
Oh, I see him. Oh, he's a big guy.
These bears aren't used to humans, and right now, this guy's so far away that he doesn't even know we're here. This is the best way you could view a bear in this park.
With the exception of a mother bear and her cubs, brown bears tend to be solitary animals.
Well, I gotta say, we finally got our bear.
Yes. We could sit and watch this guy all day, but we've got a plane to catch.
So after a few more miles, we catch a different scent in the air. It's salt water. We are bearing down on the coast right now. We're seeing a ton of seagulls. Oh, and there was a seal right there. Wow.
Oh, he's looking at us.
These are harbor seals. They number in the thousands in the Gulf of Alaska. They can grow up to 6 feet long and weigh around 245 pounds. About 30% of that is blubber, perfect for swimming in the icy Gulf waters.
Woo! All right.
We made it.
Oh, we got a wave.
Oh, jeez.
If there's one thing this epic journey has taught us, it's the value of teamwork.
Yeah! Woo! Team high five! And when obstacles are pitted up against you, not only the rapids and bears, it tunes you into nature.
You realize how awesome it is to not just be alive, but to be out in these national parks, just feeling that intensity.
You get that feeling the moment you set foot in Aniakchak. You feel so full of life when you look at this incredible place. Oh, man.
Wow. Aniakchak proved to us that the journey is indeed the destination. And remember,
Hey, if we can do it, so can you.
So the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
On to the next park.
Here we go.
everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.